When we think about grief, I think people want it to be something that happens after a loss and then it ends. But I think the really important thing about grief is there's no good timeline, and the way that people react to it could be very different. So you might have a loss of a family member, and one family member is really profoundly affected by it, and a different family member doesn't have that same reaction. And that doesn't mean they care about that person less. It's just how grief manifests. It manifests differently. It can also happen at different times, right? You might not right away feel grief. It might come later, like the person's birthday or another really important event that you have with the person. I think over COVID, we haven't talked enough about grief and why it matters. And we haven't talked enough about how many people have lost their primary caregiver that are children. And that's going to lead to a lasting effect. And, when we look at how that then leads to mental health problems, of course, depression can come after grief. We have a new diagnostic, criterion coming up soon. That's like prolonged grief disorder, which is really, when people have had a really long, prolonged reaction to having grief, and it leads to symptoms that, don't look like depression, look different, and are really related to that loved one's death. That'll be in the new, updated DSM. But I think, we do recognize how important it is and how important to our mental health all of these things to think about are.